Did you know that Israel, a nation now known worldwide, was not officially recognized until 1948? It's a fascinating tale, one that stretches back thousands of years and spans across continents. To truly grasp the birth of Israel, we must first step back in time to understand the Jewish diaspora. For centuries, Jewish communities flourished in various parts of the world, from Europe to North Africa, and from the Middle East to North America. However, they were united by a shared faith, culture, and a longing for a homeland. Jump to the late 19th century, where the Zionist movement started to gain momentum. This political movement was born out of the desire for a Jewish homeland in the ancestral land of Israel. The idea was not just a dream, but a response to the rising tide of anti-Semitism across Europe. Theodor Herzl, an Austro-Hungarian journalist and political activist, played a pivotal role in shaping the Zionist movement. He organized the first Zionist Congress in 1897, which brought together Jewish leaders from around the world to discuss the idea of a Jewish state. The Zionist movement grew over the decades, fueled by the horrific atrocities of the Holocaust during World War II. The desperate need for a safe haven for Jewish people became painfully clear. The world could no longer ignore the call for a Jewish homeland. In the aftermath of World War II, the United Nations proposed a plan to partition Palestine into an Arab state and a Jewish state. Despite Arab opposition, the plan was approved, and on May 14, 1948, David Ben-Gurion, the head of the Jewish Agency, declared the establishment of the State of Israel, and so Israel was born, a nation carved out of turmoil and hope. This was a monumental moment, not just a political event, but a deeply symbolic achievement for Jewish people worldwide. It signaled the end of centuries of statelessness and the beginning of a journey towards self-determination. This marked the beginning of a new chapter in the history of the Jewish people. Israel's declaration of independence was not met with open arms by the international community. Instead, it was a tumultuous period marked by outright hostility, political maneuvering, and military confrontation. In the aftermath of its declaration in 1948, Israel found itself embroiled in a bitter war with its Arab neighbors. This conflict, known as the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, saw Israel defending its nascent statehood against a coalition of Arab states. It was a baptism of fire, a struggle for survival against overwhelming odds. Yet, against these odds, Israel held firm, cementing its resolve to stand its ground in the global arena. Yet the challenges did not end there. In the mid-20th century, the world was caught in the throes of the Cold War, and the Middle East was no exception. Israel found itself caught in the crosshairs of superpower politics, and its quest for recognition was further complicated. One notable event that highlighted these complexities was the Suez Crisis of 1956. This was a geopolitical conflict that pitted Israel, along with Britain and France, against Egypt. The crisis was triggered by Egypt's nationalization of the Suez Canal, a vital waterway that was crucial to international trade. Israel, along with its allies, launched a military operation against Egypt, resulting in a short but intense conflict. The Suez Crisis underscored Israel's precarious position on the world stage. It highlighted the country's vulnerability to regional tensions and global power dynamics. Yet it also showcased Israel's resilience and determination to protect its interests and sovereignty. In the face of these adversities, Israel remained steadfast. It continued to forge alliances, defend its borders, and advocate for its right to exist as a sovereign nation. It was a hard-fought journey, fraught with conflict and controversy. Yet it was a journey that would ultimately lead to Israel's acceptance in the international community. Despite these challenges, Israel persevered, and its struggle for recognition would soon bear fruit. Israel's story is a testament to the power of resilience and the indomitable spirit of a people determined to carve out a place for themselves in the world. In 1967, Israel found itself in the midst of a conflict that would forever change its history. Picture this: it's the spring of 1967. A sense of unease and tension sweeps across the Middle East. Israel is surrounded by Arab nations, Egypt, Jordan, and Syria, all of which are not exactly on friendly terms. The Arab leaders, fueled by a desire to wipe out the Jewish state, start amassing troops along Israel's borders. The stage is set for what is going to be a defining moment in Israel's history, the Six-Day War. As the name suggests, this war was incredibly short, but don't let its duration fool you. It was intense, brutal, and the outcome? Utterly unexpected. Israel, outnumbered and outgunned, launched a preemptive strike on the morning of June 5th. In a stunning display of military strategy, the Israeli Air Force decimated the enemy's air power, gaining air superiority. With their skies clear, Israeli ground forces moved swiftly. They pushed back the Egyptian army in the Sinai Peninsula, wrestled the West Bank from Jordanian control, and captured the Golan Heights from Syria, all in just 6 days. But what does this all mean? For starters, Israel's victory marked a significant shift in the region's power dynamics. Israel was no longer the small, vulnerable state fighting for survival. It had proven its military might and resilience on a grand scale. The war also led to a dramatic expansion of Israel's territory. The Sinai Peninsula, the West Bank, the Gaza Strip, East Jerusalem, and the Golan Heights came under Israeli control. However, this territorial expansion was a double-edged sword. While it offered strategic depth and security, it also brought new challenges, including the management of large Arab populations within these territories. The war also sparked a new wave of Palestinian nationalism and resistance, which continues to shape the Israeli-Palestinian conflict today. The Six-Day War not only reshaped the map of Israel, but also its standing in the world. From a small, fledgling nation, Israel emerged as a regional powerhouse, a transformation that still reverberates through the annals of history. The 1970s brought about a shift in Israel's international relations. This decade marked a significant change, a shift from conflict to cooperation, from warfare to diplomacy, and from isolation to recognition. The catalyst for this change was the historic Camp David Accords. Camp David Accords, a series of negotiations that took place in the United States in 1978, brought together three influential leaders: President Jimmy Carter of the United States, Prime Minister Menachem Begin of Israel, and President Anwar Sadat of Egypt. These negotiations were an attempt to establish a framework for peace in the Middle East, a region that had been embroiled in conflict for decades. The outcome? A landmark peace treaty between Israel and Egypt signed in 1979. For the first time in its history, Israel was officially recognized by an Arab country. This wasn't just any Arab country, but the largest and most influential, Egypt. The peace treaty was more than just a political agreement. It was a beacon of hope, a symbol that peace was indeed possible in a region known more for its conflicts than its tranquility. But what did this mean for Israel? Well, it meant security, recognition, and a chance to focus on development and growth rather than constant defense. This peace treaty was a significant turning point. It paved the way for future negotiations, future peace treaties, and a shift in Israel's international relations. Yet, it's essential to remember that peace is a process, not just an event. The Camp David Accords and the subsequent peace treaty with Egypt were not the end of Israel's struggles, but they were a significant step towards a more peaceful future. They marked the beginning of a period that saw Israel moving away from constant conflict and towards a more peaceful coexistence with its neighbors. This period of peace marked a significant turning point in Israel's history. However, peace did not last long, and Israel soon found itself in a tumultuous period. The late 20th century marked a challenging era for Israel as it grappled with two significant uprisings, known as the First and Second Intifada. These periods of intense conflict arose from the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian dispute, plunging the region into years of violence and unrest. The First Intifada, which began in late 1987, was a largely spontaneous uprising against Israeli occupation in the West Bank and Gaza. It started as a wave of civil disobedience, strikes, boycotts, and demonstrations, but soon escalated into a series of violent confrontations. This period witnessed a significant shift in the dynamics of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, as the world's attention was drawn to the plight of the Palestinians living under occupation. Then came the Second Intifada in the year 2000, a far more violent and deadly episode. Sparked by the visit of Ariel Sharon to the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the Second Intifada saw an increase in suicide bombings and armed attacks. This phase of conflict was marked by heightened animosity, transforming the landscape of the Israeli-Palestinian relationship. Both intifadas had profound impacts on Israeli society. The violence and bloodshed led to a hardening of attitudes, with a growing sense of insecurity and fear. The Israeli government responded with a range of security measures, including the controversial construction of the West Bank barrier. These intifadas also shaped Israel's relationship with the Palestinians. The violence and distrust sowed during these years made the prospect of peace seem increasingly distant, with both sides becoming more entrenched in their positions. On the Palestinian side, the intifadas led to a growing sense of national identity and the rise of political groups such as Hamas. But they also resulted in a significant loss of life and a further deterioration in living conditions. These turbulent times left deep scars on both sides, influencing the course of Israel's history. The impacts of the intifadas continue to reverberate in the present day, shaping the complex dynamics of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. From its inception to the present day, Israel has been a nation of resilience. As we journey into the present, Israel stands tall as a global player. It's not just about the geographical size, but the impact it's making on the world stage. This small nation, nestled in the Middle East, has become an epicenter for technological advancement and innovation. In the fields of science, agriculture, and medicine, Israel's contributions are nothing short of remarkable. The nation's innovative spirit is evident in its moniker, the Startup Nation, boasting the highest number of startups per capita in the world. Israel's prowess in technology is not just limited to startups. The country's advancements in the realm of cybersecurity are globally recognized. Israel's Iron Dome, a mobile all-weather air defense system, is a testament to its technological prowess and a symbol of its commitment to safeguard its people. However, like any nation, Israel has its share of challenges. The country continues to grapple with its geopolitical location and the complexities of its diverse society. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict, a long-standing issue, remains unresolved and continues to pose significant challenges to the nation's peace and stability. Internally, Israel faces issues related to social and economic disparities among its diverse population. Yet, in the face of these challenges, Israel remains undaunted. It continues to invest in its people, fostering a culture of creativity and innovation. Its universities and research institutions are among the best in the world, nurturing the minds that will shape the nation's future. Israel's journey from its birth to the present day is a testament to its resilience. It's a story of a nation that has not only survived, but thrived amid adversity, a story of a nation that refuses to let its past define its future. It's a story of a nation that, despite its size, has left an indelible mark on the world. Despite its tumultuous history, Israel continues to forge ahead, shaping its destiny. So, we've journeyed through the history of Israel, from its birth to the present day. We've traveled through time, witnessing the birth of a nation amidst controversy and struggle. We've seen the battle for recognition, as Israel asserted its legitimacy on the world stage. We've delved into the Six-Day War, a pivotal moment that changed the region's landscape. We've seen periods of peace, marked by historic treaties, but also turbulent times of conflict and unrest, such as the intifadas. We've caught a glimpse of Israel today, a nation that's both modern and ancient, a place of innovation and heritage, and a center of religious significance for millions worldwide. Through it all, we've seen a constant thread of resilience and determination. From its inception to its current standing, Israel's history is a testament to the strength of its people and their unwavering resolve. As we've seen, the history of Israel is a tale of resilience and determination, a story that continues to unfold.